Hello Gems, Leah from Red Emerald Yoga. Today we're here doing a Mercury in retrograde spread. So we're going to be looking at what this Mercury retrograde is bringing into my awareness. How will it affect me? What do I need to revisit? And what do I need to rework during this Mercury retrograde? We're going to look at any unknown factors that we need to be aware of and any precautions that we can take for a smooth transition through Mercury retrograde. We're also going to be looking at one of our shadows and what door is opening for us. So go ahead and choose a stone that resonates with you. Oops, I have amethyst for all three piles. So this will be pile 1. This stone will be for pile 2. And this stone will be for pile 3. So amethyst aligns our astral bodies with the physical body. It opens one to prophetic visions as well as colorful dreams and fantasies. Amethyst leads us on a path of uniting with the goddess energy. It can enhance our creative expression and helps to banish any blocks or barriers held in the heart, throat, and high heart chakras. Now, these are all things that really kind of come to light during Mercury retrograde. So I thought, you know what, amethyst is a really good stone for this. Amethyst can also aid anyone harboring a burning desire to be heard and understood by connecting the heart and the throat chakras. It allows heartfelt conversations to take precedence over destructive, unsuccessful conversations with self and others. Unfortunately, those destructive conversations really come to surface quite often during Mercury retrograde. Go ahead and choose the stone that resonates with you. Go ahead and jump below to the timestamp in the description, and I will see you in your reading. Pile 1, feel free to just stay here. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Card 1, this is looking at what will this Mercury retrograde bring into my awareness. So let's see. Here we have the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So I feel like with this Mercury retrograde, it's going to bring your awareness that you're going to feel overworked. There may be a lot on your plate. And you might kind of feel like you're struggling to keep up. This soul cat is busy doing all of these little paw prints, and they can't all be cookie cutter the same, you know? So like you're trying to put your individual touch on your projects, on your things that you're doing. Pentacles dealing with real world issues. And you're trying to give everything like the attention that it deserves. To see all of these notes, like you're really trying to do a good job, but like things are just really starting to pile up. You might need to take like an inventory of what needs to be done, and then maybe like create a plan or deal with some sort of like a journal or a day planner, kind of organize and prioritize the most important things. There's never going to be enough time in a day to do everything, and Mercury retrograde just kind of like will heighten that anxiety, that frustration. So it's really important to stay organized during this time. How will this Mercury retrograde affect me? Here we have the 7 of Wands in the reverse. So during this time, you might start to feel that everyone is against you, or like you're kind of on your own and there's really nobody to support you. There's nobody to back you up. And I don't know if this is dealing with work or with family, home life. Perhaps, I don't know if you live in an HOA, but that could even be like your neighborhood and your community, you know, and maybe just things are not going your way. I'm really drawn to the signs. Like you might be confronted about rules. I don't know if you're going to be getting some sort of like violation. I don't know if it has to do like with your house or perhaps like a car. I don't know, but I feel like these are like violations. Yeah. So just be on the lookout. Like pay attention to the signs, you know, do what you know you're supposed to do. And things can be averted, you know. So the tarot shows a glimpse into the energy surrounding a situation, and it's up to us to use this information like a tool. We can disregard it, you know, and just let things kind of take its course. But we can also use the information to march forward towards the result if we like what the cards show, and we can make smart decisions and avert problems, okay? So I feel like that is a warning card. Card 3, what do I need to revisit during this Mercury retrograde? The Queen of Pentacles. I think you might need to revisit you. I think that you might need to spend some alone time, perhaps taking care of yourself. That could be making that doctor's appointment that you know you've been putting off. Maybe it's a chiropractor. Maybe it's getting a massage. Maybe it's, you know, like taking a break from the hard work and getting your nails done or your hair. Maybe it's even taking a nap. But the Queen of Pentacles, she's usually busy taking care of others. And I feel like right now, like you need to just rest and recharge. You need to fill your own cup before you can fill the cup of others. You don't need to make yourself available to everyone at the same level of intensity that you normally do. And that might be what's causing you to be feeling like you have so much to do. Card 4, this is what do I need to rework during this Mercury retrograde? The 9 of Swords. I feel like there's a lot of things that are stressing you out, keeping you up at night. These things are weighing really heavily on you and they're causing you a lot of distress. I feel like these would be more than likely related to home. Doesn't have to be, but that's the feeling I'm getting really strongly right now, especially with the way that this card is depicted. It looks like a bed. And I mean, I know that you could be up at night, stressed out about anything really, but I'm really strongly feeling that this is related to home. I think you might need to rework kind of the way that you're analyzing whatever it is that is stressing you out. I feel like you might be, you might not be looking at all of the sides, you know, like if you look at this stone and you're like, which way do the lines run? You know, like, oh, it goes straight across and then down and then back up. But if you flip it over, well, it's the same, but it's not always the same. Well, that's a poor example. But yeah, you know, just making sure that things are what they seem. You want to look at all the sides for sure. Don't use that example. Okay, what unknown factors do I need to be aware of? The Sun in the reverse. I feel like you might need to be aware of things that have been robbing you of your joy. So this right here is a major arcana card, and this deals with issues that have been long-standing. These ones, the minor arcana, they're more like your day-to-day things, you know, those can change relatively quickly. But this one, I feel like this thing that has been robbing you of your joy, you've been feeling that for quite some time. And maybe that is why you're here with the 9 of Swords. You know, you might be feeling like, I feel like there's a lot going on and you're just feeling like robbed of your joy. I'm really drawn to why it says unknown factors. Like maybe you don't even know what the real root issue is. I feel like you might need to take some time to truly figure it out. Like, it might be hidden. It might be like I was trying to show you on this stone, which was not the best example. You're thinking it's one thing, and then when you really evaluate it, you realize, oh, you know what? I thought this was the issue, but it actually goes much deeper. It's actually from this thing that happened before, or it's from, I thought that you were upset, or like, I thought I was upset about what this person said, but it actually goes much deeper. It's like what this person said in the past, or what someone else has done, or, just like, I feel like there's some unknown factor to that. There's some piece of the puzzle that you're not considering. And that's what's keeping you from your joy. What precautions can I take for a smooth Mercury retrograde? Page of Cups in the reverse. All right, pile one. This can take a couple of different meanings for me. This can be like needing to reconnect with a very youthful energy, like a carefree spirit. Okay. Not taking things so serious. Or for those of you who are kind of finding yourself like you have a tendency to not take things too serious. I feel like for those of you that fall into that category, this could be taking things more serious, not being so careless, so carefree, really needing to be the bigger person, be the adult in this situation. So this card, it's like the soul cat here, and he's kind of like the guardian angel, okay? This fish was in the cup, and the fish wanted to fly because, his buddy has wings and he can fly. So the soul cat put the little fish in a bubble, and he's able to fly, right? But if this fish had just like, oh yeah, I could fly, he might fly too high. He might get carried off, kind of like the Icarus effect. And so the soul cat is like, whoa, when the fish starts getting too high, he reaches out and he's like, no, don't go so far. Like you can go this far, but like come back down to earth now. Like you need to come back. So I feel like maybe even finding your soul cat, your buddy, who kind of keeps you in check, who keeps you grounded, who keeps you from kind of like getting out of hand, like who has your back. Yeah, finding the person who really helps keep you steady and grounded. Let's see what this oracle card has to say. Cocoon. Consider your source. So let's go and see what the book has to say for card 4. Cocoon. Okay, it says, to grow, we sometimes need to understand where we have come from and the lives we may have led before this one. When cocoon appears, it's time to retreat into yourself in layers of deep contemplation and consider your source. Step away from your day-to-day concerns and investigate your origins. Do you know your ancestors? Who deeply resonates with you in this moment? Oh my gosh, I really feel like this card is tying into your reading. I feel like it's really tying in with this Queen of Pentacles over here, where it's saying to, what does it say? Step away from your day-to-day concerns. Okay, I feel like where it's saying who deeply resonates with you in this moment, I feel like that's really drawing your attention to this soul cat right here. Like you're the fish, who's really resonating with you. Our physical lineage bears weight in our journey. It's baggage that we unpack when needed, or that sometimes weighs us down. Life is not a straight line, but circles, like the rings of a tree. We grow a new ring every year that tells our story and shares our strengths. Learn from you and your ancestors' mistakes. Learn from their joys and successes too, as you honor your own journey of growth. Allow yourself to cocoon and withdraw. Secure in the knowledge that you will ultimately emerge different, for the better. Give yourself permission to move into the dark. You don't have to keep up with anyone or anything in this moment. Just be still, but be disciplined in your stillness. Choose an ancestor, either your direct lineage or a non-blood related human. We're all connected somewhere in the threads of our communal DNA. Consider the lesson of their life and where it resonates with you. How will you share this lesson when you emerge from your cocoon of contemplation? Like the new butterfly spreads its wings and shares its beauty and movement, how will you share yours, anchored in the tangible gifts of your lineage? It has the practice here for shadow work. It says, the dark can sometimes be aligned with depression and entrapment, but in this ritual, you will find it soothing and restorative. Draw a bath and add patchouli, sandalwood, and frankincense essential oils. So one thing I want to point out, it doesn't look like they're telling you how, I don't recommend just getting essential oils and pouring them into your bath water. I recommend mixing them with Epsom salts, with clay, or diluting them in oil, like a carrier oil. You could use avocado, you could use coconut, you could use, I don't know if did I say olive oil already? I don't know, olive oil, avocado, coconut, those are some of my favorites. But you want to mix it with something and then add it to your bath water. You can even mix it with colloidal oatmeal or whatever. I don't want to go too much on a tangent of that, but definitely look it up if you're going to add essential oils to your bath water. If you don't have these as oils, you can burn incense of one or a combination of these. If you don't have a bath, lie in a warm, dark place wrapped in soft blankets. Place an eye mask or dark piece of cloth over your eyes. Feel safe and peaceful. If any disturbing thoughts flow through your mind, picture them like leaves blowing in a breeze, scattering away from you. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to return to the sense of being cocooned that you had inside your mother's womb before you were born into this world. Consider all the love and potential that resides in your ancestry, in your DNA. Rest in this place of divine contemplation for as long as you wish. Be restored and healed of any doubt and fear. Life is an extraordinary adventure. It is always okay to step back and take a break to regroup, to reconnect with the wonderful gift of life in all its light and shadow. When you feel ready, emerge from your cocoon and write any thoughts or revelations in your notebook. It has a few daily practice rituals that you can also do. It talks about carrying bloodstone, which is aligned with regenerative life energies and our DNA. It says you can drink cacao to honor your roots. And you can even place a photo of one of your ancestors in your bag or pocket with a sprig of rosemary for remembrance. Look at it throughout the day, remembering good and inspiring things about them. So, you can even put a little altar. You could have a sprig of rosemary with a photo of your loved one on the side. You can keep it at your desk at work or at your home or whatever. You can do things like that. But I really feel like this card is calling you to take a step back when you feel these moments of being overworked, when you feel like everybody's against you or things are happening. Strongly feel like that has something to do with signs, some sort of regulations, violations, and taking this time for self-care. Just letting these thoughts come and then blowing them away, Let's see what this last oracle card says. 15. Enter. Okay, it says, come in. We're open. It is time now for you to step into something. A relationship, a career, a residential change, or another significant initiation point along your life's spiraling path. You have likely been considering this already, as if you were on the outside looking in. Now it's time for you to cross the threshold of this portal so you can dive into this exciting, expansive new time. Even when the direction you're considering looks amazing, it's natural to hesitate before you embark upon a mysterious future. That's because you're leaving the familiar behind and transitioning into a world you don't know and can't completely imagine or predict. And as lovely as beginnings can be, every beginning is also, by necessity, an ending. We must constantly say goodbye to the past as we say hello to the future. In this appearance of time and separation, the future is unknowable, and the past is inevitable. We must acknowledge these bittersweet truths so we are not paralyzed by them. Because when we don't move forward with curiosity and boldness, life begins to feel stagnant and stale. I feel like that's where you are right now, in this feeling of stagnation. This feeling of like overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, nothing is happening as fast as it should be. This card asks you to ask yourself, what realm am I being called to enter? In what direction am I being guided? Where does my heart of hearts want to go? And I feel like that's really tying in here with the Sun card. Then check in with yourself about how to take action on these inner nudges. Contemplating a positive life change or fresh direction is an integral part of the process. But if you get stuck in the process for too long, your hopes and dreams will be on hold until you get unstuck. Notice any excuses you may have been hiding behind, and become conscious of any fears that may have held you back. Bringing these into the light of awareness will help remove their power over you. You can then take action to help bring about the changes you crave. Entering a new realm of experience is always a little scary, but it's exciting too. The important thing is not that you move forward perfectly, but simply that you move forward. So dive in. You can learn as you go. Let your courage lead you to take concrete steps to stake your claim on your dreams. Okay, so this is the door that will be opening for you after Mercury retrograde has passed. So what used to make you happy, and why did you stop doing it? What would make you happy now? What would truly make you happy in the future? And then taking those steps to follow your dreams, scary as it might be. And maybe that's why you need to rest, because, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy, but it is possible. And maybe you just need that time to recoup, to repower your little internal battery. So that way, once this Mercury retrograde has passed, you're able to step in, go through this portal, following your dreams. So pile 1, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please like and subscribe if you did, and leave a comment below letting me know what you thought about your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's begin. Card 1. What will this Mercury retrograde bring into my awareness? 7 of Swords. Okay, pile 2. I feel like this card can take on a couple of different meanings for me. You're going to have to see which one you fall into. I feel like this can be regret. This could be regret over actions and steps that you have taken. You may have even made it a point to kind of like take things that did not belong to you. I know that sounds a lot like stealing. That can also be non-physical items. You could take someone's joy. You could take someone's confidence. You could take someone's reputation. I'm strongly feeling that it's not necessarily, for some of you, physical items. That's not something that I normally get from this card. But in this reading, I'm kind of getting that very strongly. Could even be their peace of mind. This could also be feeling like all of these things that you have got through your wits. Like it could be through, just like a lifestyle that you've attained through your own hard work, dedication, whatever, but these things that you've attained, and they're piling up, and you know what? Like it's more than you thought it was going to be. And there's all of these thoughts surrounding this. Like, how do I get out of this now? Because now I've attained all this stuff, and now it's like closing in on me, and it's actually it's not good for my mental well-being. And now you're hiding over here in the corner. Like, great, I don't even want to look at it now. So I think that may be stuff that's coming into your awareness. Card 2. How will this Mercury retrograde affect me? Queen of Cups in the reverse. I feel like you might be a little sharp-tongued during this time. The Queen of Cups in the reverse often reminds me of a witch with a capital B. This person can be short-tempered, very cold. So I feel like this Mercury retrograde might be affecting you on an emotional level. What do I need to revisit during this Mercury retrograde? 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like you might need to revisit, reevaluate how you are working with others. More than likely, this is going to be in the real world. Okay, I feel like this is going to pertain more to things like work. Okay, I don't feel like it's so much dealing with your family. I feel like it would be like more work related, more. It could even be networking related, but really, really paying attention to the way that you're coming across, the way that you're receiving input from others. Making sure that your interactions with people are in alignment with how you want to come across and how you want others to receive what you have to say. Card 4. What do I need to rework during this Mercury retrograde? Ace of Pentacles. I feel like now is a really good time to figure out your priorities. I feel like this is coming back full circle over here with this first card, where I felt like it was kind of like, for some of you, things that you have acquired and maybe you didn't realize the full impact that was going to have on you. Yeah, I feel like this is really reevaluating your priorities. What's important? What is a want? What is a need? What unknown factors do I need to be aware of? 6 of Pentacles. I think this is finding balance. Finding balance with others, and making sure that there is an equal exchange of others, that you're not taking advantage of other people. I strongly feel like that is, again, tying into this card over here. I feel like I don't normally get the feeling from this card, but like I'm really feeling strongly that a karma is at work here. Like what you are creating for yourself in the future, like the way that you treat others is going to come back full circle for you. So it's not only making sure that you get your fair share, it's also going about it in a fair and balanced way. I'm really drawn to how the cat is here with like these wings spread, you know, and like the heart is just kind of open. And I feel like, yeah, I'm really feeling like this is like honesty in business, honesty in dealing with other people. What precautions can I take for a smooth Mercury retrograde? The Tower. I'm feeling like these cards are playing into each other. That by being fair in your dealings with others, that can be work related, that could be in your just normal day to day. But I strongly feel that it is for a lot of you work related, that is going to avert a tower moment. This is the card that I call the oh shit card. And normally this card is depicted as a bolt of lightning coming in, striking the tower and the people being caught unaware. Okay, but in this one, the cat is literally knocking over the lamp. So I feel like this would be, you know, you averting your own disaster, like not creating the disaster for yourself. So I feel like that's really thinking about your actions. I'm looking at all of these books. They're slanted over, you know, like these books are being read. They're being used. They're not just stacked there perfectly, like never being moved. I feel like that's making wise decisions, really well thought out decisions in your day-to-day and your dealings with others. And that's going to avoid one of these oh shit moments, these tower moments. This oracle card says victorious. It is good to ask for help. So I'm going to go to the book and see what this card has to say for victorious. Card 12. It says, would you want to experience your greatest strength alone? When victorious appears, it's telling you that you can express your strongest display of strength in letting yourself be helped. If you feel overwhelmed by the pressures of other people's poor behavior, bullying, and demands, this card says it's time to ask for help. Let go of the need to hide and pretend it isn't happening, as well as your attachment to fear and resentment or anger, and accept assistance. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of courage. Healthy choices resist peer pressure. With help, you are stronger than the sum of your parts. You can vanquish the situation that ails you. This is represented on the card by the wise masked figures, your allies, tending to the fire of your protection. One figure looks to the sky at two birds flying overhead, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. This represents your freedom from struggle and that someone has your back. The setting sun signifies the end of the matter, while the evening calm allows all negative energies to settle down. When others are cruel and unkind, this card says resist the urge to punish them yourself. The figures in the cards are like dark superheroes appearing to burn that which ails you. The dark energy around you, whether that be a bully or enemy, is vanquished in regenerative, purifying flames. Note that this is symbolic and metaphorical, not literal. Yeah, don't be starting any fires. Pile 2. Let's see, it says the law of 3. One of the most powerful edicts of real modern witchcraft is never to hex or wish outright harm and misfortune on others, no matter how grievous their treatment of you or someone you care about may be. Powerful and effective magic is only ever truly and sustainably achieved by taking the high road. Have compassion for those who hurt you. Their poor behavior reflects their inadequacies and fears, not yours. As you send out, so returns threefold. As the ancient law of 3 reveals, they will attract their own misfortune without you having to do anything. That being said, it's important to stop hurtful, dangerous actions in the physical realm, especially when it comes to bullying, which can be experienced at any age. Take inspired, practical steps. Speak to a teacher, caregiver, parent, friend, counselor, or law enforcement officer and tell them you need help. Okay, so pile 2, this could even be somebody bullying you into a corner. Perhaps they are throwing words at you, they are creating situations, they may even be trying to take your stuff, stuff being energetic or physical. Normally, when this card is in the upright, I feel like there is like somebody doing those things to you. But in this deck, I kind of get the feeling that it's not always coming from an external source. Okay. So, but I feel like with this card, it may be tying in that it could be coming from an external source. And again, it's a collective reading, so you're going to have to pick how that relates to what you're going through. It has a daily practice. You can carry black obsidian, which is one of the most powerful crystals for protection. Drink lavender tea to feel calm and soothed. Spend your time with people who make you smile, not frown, as much as possible. All right, so yeah, asking for help from others who are in your support circle, friends, family, coworkers. Perhaps it's HR. I'm not too sure what is your situation. And from your spiritual guides. Don't underestimate them. And then this is the portal that will be opening for you after Mercury retrograde. Trust. Let's see, card 34. To move forward, consciously deepen your level of trust. If you're inquiring about a relationship of any kind, consider how much do you trust the other person. Is that degree of trust based on something you legitimately know or sense? Or is it based on a past trauma that has nothing to do with your current experience? Are you unfairly mistrustful of this person? Or are you undermining your trust in yourself by discounting your well-founded suspicions that something isn't right? When you ask the divine for support, relax and look deeply. You will know the answer to these questions, and you will be able to delegate your loyalties accordingly. If you are not inquiring about a relationship, drawing this card may indicate that you are being guided to trust yourself more. Your intuition, desires, dreams, decisions, or expertise. You may also benefit from trusting the universe more by correctly believing that you are supported in moving toward and manifesting the conditions you desire. Of course, trust isn't something you can just turn on and off like a light switch, but it is something you can cultivate when you take the time to quiet your mind, invoke divine support, and set the intention to place your trust in yourself, the universe, and trustworthy friends and loved ones. Every life contains risk, and every successful person chooses to take calculated risks at various points along the way. In some cases, these risks pay off. In others, they don't. This is the nature of risk. Remember that the true tragedy is not failing, but never trying in the first place. When we open our hearts to another person, there is always vulnerability and the potential for pain and loss. The same is true when we commit to a project we care about or share our art with the world. Still, we must be brave and put ourselves out there. Otherwise, while we may avoid risk, we will never connect deeply with other people or succeed in any area of life. Avoiding risk is the only risk we must avoid. Trust is not about knowing everything will turn out as you'd like. It's about not knowing, but taking action anyway, and believing that the universe will support you through whatever may arise. Be brave, open your heart, and trust. Wow. And maybe because you have lost that ability to trust, that may be why, I felt so strongly that in dealing with other people, you may be judging harshly. You may be dealing with them harshly because you're already expecting them to betray you in some way, to not be trustworthy. I strongly feel that your reading is mostly about your dealings and interactions with others. Maybe it stems back to the time like when you trusted yourself, right? Like you allowed yourself to trust and you were hurt. Or you allowed yourself to trust someone and they let you down. They hurt you in some way. And from that time on, you're like, you know what? Like I can't trust myself. Like you might get these feelings like, oh yeah, like you could let this person in. And then you shut it down. You're like, no, I remember what happened last time. And I'm just gonna make myself be cold. I'm gonna make myself be short because I don't want to be hurt again. Yeah, so in order to stop this tower moment from happening, I don't know if like maybe you're self-sabotaging because that enables you to not have to put yourself in a vulnerable situation. It enables you to not have to trust somebody, to not have to let somebody in. But I feel like in order for you to transition and make it through this Mercury retrograde smoothly, that you are going to have to trust people. You are going to have to ask for help. And that it's not a sign of weakness. So pile 2, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's begin. Card 1. This is looking at what will this Mercury retrograde bring into my awareness? Here we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, pile 3. I feel like this is going to be some sort of spark, some sort of inspiration. It could even be passion. I don't know. This is a collective reading, so like something's going to pique your interest. Something's going to really get you fired up about something. Now, the thing about the Ace of Wands, like the Aces cards, they're like the pure potential, the pure raw energy of that suit. So the wands, that would be like your inspiration, your passion, your creativity, right? But the thing with that is like, it's a spark, right? It can be put out. It can be extinguished if you don't take action. Okay. So if somebody lit the fire, there's like creativity, there's passion. What are you going to do with it? Okay. Card 2, how will this Mercury retrograde affect me? Well, this card is saying that you may take action on this. The tarot's never set in stone. Just because this card says like, oh yeah, the Chariot, you're going to take action. You're going to get going. You're going to move forward. If you choose, you have free will. If you choose not to take action, well, then that's your choice. Okay. But it looks like you're going to be led. You're going to be drawn to really want to take action, to move forward. I feel like this is more in alignment with your higher self. This is like a balancing of your masculine and your feminine energies. Like this is really going to give you what you have been longing for, really, but not really thinking that you could achieve it. Okay. Sometimes people go a little bit crazy during Mercury retrograde, and that like bit of craziness, this like stirring of emotions just might be what you need to really get you going. What do I need to revisit during this Mercury retrograde? The 8 of Cups in the reverse. Oh my goodness, pile 3. Okay, so you know that there's something missing. There's something lacking. This may be about a relationship. This could be romantic or otherwise, but there is something lacking, and it's not a mystery to you. You already know. You're being drawn. You've been feeling this for a while, and you just haven't had the courage you know, cats don't like water, and you're like, no, I know I need to go, but like, oh my gosh, like what if I fall in the water, you know? And that's like your emotions, you know, like there's so much, it's so hard to cross, but you can do it. You just haven't done it yet. What do I need to revisit during this Mercury retrograde? Mustering up the courage, going after what's missing. Card 4, what do I need to rework during this Mercury retrograde? 2 of Cups in the reverse. Pile 3, I do believe that this is speaking about a relationship. Judging by the card's imagery, more than likely romantic. Like, you may have thought it was one way, but now that you've been, you know, in this relationship for a while, you're realizing things were not as they appeared to be. Maybe you guys have changed, you know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes people change, we grow, we evolve as people. Sometimes we devolve as people. And sometimes we fell in love with a mask, a lie. And sometimes you see the true nature of a person and you're like, you know what, that's not what I fell in love with. Or maybe this person, you know, no longer appreciates you, or maybe they never did. I don't know what your situation is, but it's not working out. And you know it. Card 5, what unknown factors do I need to be aware of? Eight of Wands. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is your own shadow. You know, there's this black cat here, which to me represents the shadow self. And then there's like shadows coming out in 3 directions from this cat, from the shadow. And it's like, this cat knows that there's aspects of itself, like it's not perfect, you know, but it's taking action, it's moving forward. What do I need to be aware of? I think that there's going to be parts of yourself that you've buried, parts of yourself that you didn't know existed, and even parts of you, like, you know how when you get like a light, you know, and you can play with the light, you can play with a flashlight, you can play with a lantern, a lamp, and if you move that light around, the shadow that it casts can morph, it can change dimensions, it can grow, it can shrink, and I feel like there are parts of you that are going to surface that you didn't realize. And some of these shadows might be a little frightening. Some of them you might look them in the eye and you're like, you know what? Like, I used to be afraid of you and now I'm not, because like, look at you. I've moved the light and you are shrinking. Like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm not afraid to take action and to move. You know what I mean? I'm going to get on this chariot and I'm going to go. What precautions can I take for a smooth Mercury retrograde? 2 of Swords in the reverse. Oh my goodness. I feel like these mice are moving in opposite directions and they're not really paying attention to the other one. They have blinders on. And I feel like the precaution you can take is take off the blinders. Tapping in to your gut, tapping into your intuition and just being like, you know what? Like, I know something is being hidden from me and I'm going to take off these blinders. I'm going to take off this blindfold and I'm going to make a decision. Let's go to the Oracle card. Let's see what this one is. Here we have Blush. Love is blooming. Trying to make that glare go away. Love is blooming. So I'm going to go to the book and see what this has to say for Love is Blooming. Card 18. It says, there's a rainbow that will follow every storm that comes our way. That's a quote by Fiona Horn, the author of this deck. So it says, some of the biggest rushes we can experience as humans are new love and dreams of love. You've fallen in love. You're floating on cloud 9. Everything is perfect and euphoric, then crash. The crash is not inevitable, but it often happens. It's all part of learning who we are and who we resonate and bond with as we grow and evolve. Oh my gosh, I just said that. I just used that word. I use that word anyways, but I feel like it's really fitting for this reading, the way that they're tying in. The person is standing in a lush green field. Vibrant flowers grow at their feet, yet their head is bowed and a little gray cloud hovers over them. Surely there could be a pot of gold at the end of it. They will only find out by letting go of fear, disappointment, and regret, and by looking up, literally and metaphorically. When blush appears, romantic love is blooming around you. There is a risk involved, but rain and sunshine make the flowers grow. Love is at the core of divine creation, so blush can also mean that the love you feel for family, friends, and even coworkers is increasing. Trust these feelings. Your ability to love yourself unconditionally and set positive, healthy boundaries are skills that will contribute to your personal growth and relationships. Remember, there are no mistakes, only lessons, especially in love. It has a daily practice. It says, carry or wear rose quartz for self-love in its most pure and unconditional expression, and for extending that love to others. Drink rooibos tea with 1 teaspoon each of cacao powder and honey stirred with cinnamon stick to imbue your day with loving energy. You can wear something pink or rose-colored to radiate loving energy, and turn an item of clothing inside out to turn around bad luck and love and attract positive experiences. So I feel like this card is like about love. Love is blooming. It has to start with you first. You working on loving yourself, and then loving the people in your deepest, most closest inner circle, and then extending that out to others. And when you do that, you will attract someone who's vibrating on your frequency. And I really agree with what the card says about setting healthy boundaries. I think that's so important. And I think that, often we try to be positive and we try to focus on the good. And sometimes we set ourselves up for disaster because some people prey on that. Some people take advantage of that. So it's really good to be able to recognize things that we are just not going to ever be okay with. Setting up boundaries and not compromising on those boundaries. This is a portal that it will be opening up for you after Mercury Retrograde. This is Realm of the Fae. Let me just bring it in. It's really pretty. Okay, let's go to the book and see what it says for Realm of the Fae. Okay, card 24. The portal between the human world and the realm of the Fae is open to you. The fairy folk might be described as the conscious aliveness of nature. Even though humans are domesticated creatures, our genes and past life echoes still possess an energetic memory of living in greater harmony with the natural world. So the realm of the Fae is not entirely foreign to you. It lives within you. It's the part of you that recognizes the magical properties of herbs and crystals, and that feels the call to swim in natural bodies of water, soak in the moonlight, and run barefoot through the grass. This card has shown up so you can become open to an important blessing, such as healing, insight, wealth, or mastery. By consciously entering the fairies' realm, you can do this by retreating into nature for a weekend, an evening, or even an hour or two. You might like to plan a camping trip or overnight stay in the woods, or just leave your phone at home and take a walk in a wild setting. Spending contemplative time in nature and allowing yourself to feel a sense of oneness with all that surrounds you will strengthen the wild fairy nature within you, so you can regain your playfulness, joy, and connection, and recharge your intuition, creativity, and magical power. During your time of sacred communion with nature, silently ask the fairies to surround and support you. Then look for things that sparkle and dance, like sunlight on water, shiny leaves fluttering, bright stars, butterflies, and blossoms that quiver gently in the breeze. Let them catch your eye and delight you. Inhale the subtle scents like flowers, trees, and soil. Don't look for blessings or guidance. Look simply for beauty. Prioritize presence and appreciation, and whatever it is you seek will arrive on the wings of your quiet interconnection with the natural world. Fairies prefer gifts to words of thanks, so leave them an offering when you arrive in nature or before you go, such as a single crystal, coin, or flower. To do so, reverently place it upon the earth. So I think after this Mercury retrograde, you're going to be coming into just a place of really wanting to connect with nature, really being grounded. I love how it's talking about running barefoot through the grass, sitting in a body of water, soaking in the moonlight, spending time exploring the magical properties of herbs and crystals, So to me, that's all about just being grounded and really becoming in tune with the subtle energies. And then how it says, focus on beauty. I think it's you may have been in a place that just felt so ugly for so long, and finding beauty in simple things, not people, just in the natural world around you. Turning off the TV, disconnecting the phone, and just looking with your eyes, not on the screen, looking around you, finding the beauty in the clouds, in the sunset, in the sunrise, in the moonlight, just the different colors reflecting light around you, there's beauty all over the place. Just coming into a place of appreciation for that. And I think that's giving more than you're taking. If you're going to be spending time at the beach, spending time around the beauty of the beach or the river, instead of walking away only having taken something, taking stones, taking shells, taking whatever, what about if you left something? What about if you put back something that you have taken, wow, this shell was so beautiful and I wanted to connect with its energy, but I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to put it back so somebody else can connect with that. Or look at this beautiful rock that I took from this place, I'm going to put it back, or I'm going to leave it in a different place for somebody else. There's a practice that they do at one of the beaches that I go to often, and they paint these beach stones, and then they leave them there. Sometimes they get taken home, and other times they stay there for many weeks, months even. And maybe the ocean reclaims them sometimes, but there's some that have been there for quite some time. And it's so cool to just see that everybody respects it, and they just leave it there and they appreciate it there. I think it's a way of giving back, paying homage to the fae. I don't really know if they believe in the fairies or not, but yeah, it's just oh, you know what? And they're little, there's little pots, with succulents in them, and different random people show up and they take turns watering them, and it's oh, these little fairy houses, and we're going to leave rocks and decorate them because it's just nice and people can enjoy it. So anyways, I feel like I'm rambling, but yeah, you get the point. And I feel like that's kind of coming into this blush. She's literally surrounded by all of this natural beauty, and I see these butterflies coming out of her back. And it's that's where her transformation is going to happen. That's where your transformation is going to happen. In nature. Surrounded by beauty. You might just be so overwhelmed, so overcome by the natural, simple beauty You know, when you see the wildlife and just like how they're basking in it, and they have everything that they need. They don't worry about the petty things that we humans do. Just taking in the natural beauty, the simplicity of life. So, pile 3, that does conclude your reading, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below letting me know what you thought about your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.